Proto V3, my brand new plugin for DaVinci Resolve for high energy, distortion, and glow effects, is done. It's ready, and if you are watching this video when it's published, Proto V3 is available tomorrow. But we are kicking off Proto Week with this video. I'm going to give you sort of your last sneak peek before that full launch, but there's a few other things I want to do in this video that I felt like didn't quite fit in a normal big like announcement launch video. I can tend to be a little long-winded about exciting stuff like this, so in this video, I'm going to be poking around in Proto V3 showing off some cool stuff, but I'm going to be talking about tangential Proto V3 stuff. Things like, where did the name Proto come from? I haven't talked about that since Proto V1, which was just called Proto, and that was a while ago. I mean, even V2 was a while ago. I want to talk about the history a little bit. There's people I want to thank, so let's do that while I poke around in Proto V3. Obviously, it goes without saying, if you are watching this video later than the day it has been uploaded, Proto V3 is out now. Go check out those other videos, but then also get V3. Also, there's a free version of Proto V3 that I think is coming out on like Wednesday of the week this is uploaded. So like if you're watching later, the free version is probably also out. But you know, I'm doing like a structured thing, so I'm going to do that. Now, I've already said I'm going to show off Proto stuff, and I am going to do that, but not before I pull up Saber. Tons of you probably recognize Saber. It is the plugin, free plugin from Andrew Kramer at Video Copilot over 9 years ago now. Saber is still insane. It's incredible. It's powerful. It looks incredible. I've said incredible twice, I think now. But obviously was the direct inspiration for the first Proto. And I think it's only now in Proto V3 that like we're getting to the area where there are now maybe a few legit pros and cons for each. I don't know if there's a con for Saber. There are a few cons still with Proto. Saber has my heart. But I also really like Proto because I made it. That's also a big reason why I kept Proto completely free through those first two versions. Just because Saber was free, I was still like following in those footsteps. But I finally, added some fun stuff in Proto V3 where I felt like I could go for that. And also like, I don't know. Money is a side thing. I wanted to poke around here. Money is a side thing where like I've already done lots of stuff, but like I think I could add the value in here to make it worth it. And like I need to make it worth it to continue on this channel. Anyway, that awesome plugin was called Saber. Everyone who uses After Effects should know all about Saber. But also when I started making my plugin, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to land on for a name. And like they obviously leaned, into like lightsaber effects, like it's called Saber. So I looked up the lore, and lo and behold, in the Star Wars lore, like the earliest versions of a lightsaber were called a proto saber. So especially when version 1 came out and it was like max level jank version of Saber, it really fit. So I went with it, and like now Proto has like this little bit of a legacy that I really like. I want to specifically call out all of these presets. The paid version has 25 presets, and all the variation you see here was still made using the built-in style controls. It's super cool. It's super cool. But that is where the name Proto comes from. And thank you, Andrew Kramer, for making a really awesome plugin. Wherever you are, Andrew, thank you. Oh, Andrew Kramer, wait, there's more to the story. When I made the first version of Proto, I think I just tweeted about it and tagged Andrew Kramer, and he actually saw it and commented and was super kind and sent a message and all this other stuff. It was incredible. And now that I finally made something so much better than that first version, I'm not holding out hope he'll see the better version, but it was still very cool. But that does bring me to some other people I just want to thank. Of course, first is just everyone who has used past versions of Proto. Proto V2, wildly successful by so many different metrics, and so many people have used that. And the fact that V3 I think is better in so many different regards, way easier to install, Like you don't have to do weird troubleshooting. Like tech stuff is super powerful. The free version, working with images or like video is super easy. Like the background video, using it in Fusion is streamlined. So thank you everyone who has downloaded version 2, and even like groups of people. I did an early access for, I want to go back to text or other paths. I did an early access for Proto V3, which I was a little nervous about, but I'm so happy I did that. Everyone who not only like purchased the early access, but like just gave feedback in the, yeah, I'll mess with this one. Feedback in the Discord we set up, like so useful. That was really helpful with presets. And like those are people who like opted in even to like pay for an incomplete product at the time. Yes, they saved money off the full retail launch, but hey, that's the benefit. And that was something I really wanted to do, as sort of a trade-off for being scared of actually charging for the first time. Thank you to early access subscribers. Those are big groups. There are a few dedicated people I would like to thank. First, when I started looking again at like taking another proper swing at V3, because it's been a lot of work, I had plenty of concerns about like my system for glows, and I was using a third party in Proto V2 that, you know, was a source of making the installation quite a bit more complicated. I was in a live stream and Jake Whip was in there. If you don't know Jake Whip, somehow absolute like legit pillar of like the community for Resolve, here on YouTube and elsewhere, and he like reassured me of some things and even like shared examples of how different glows could work in scenarios, and like got me over like a major motivation hurdle that like I don't believe we would be anywhere close to launching Proto V3 if he hadn't been in that call. And he's been super supportive of lots of different stuff, so thank you, Jake. Along like more like technical lines, there's cool stuff in Proto V3, especially these different source controls. As you change them, it updates these controls in the inspector. And Proto V3 does have a requirement to use Resolve 20 because of the system that runs this kind of thing, but also these Fusion overlays for like changing these shapes all stay. They only show you the overlay for the source control you have selected. That's built on this new really complicated system. But I want to specifically thank Asher Rowland. He also has a YouTube channel I will link. He's really dove into this like new extra coding system stuff. What's going on over here? Yeah. And like that was also essential. Let's get crazy with this. No, that's not actually too crazy. So Asher Rowland, if you want to especially dive into like some of the more technical coding side of things in Fusion, absolutely head over to that. What do I want this? Ooh, yeah, that contrast to get out there. And then what? Pull this down. Ooh, now we're getting some fun stuff there. What about this? Oh no, that's that. Oh, this, and then you offset this. Yeah. Wait, just that. Yeah, that's okay. The point is for this demo to be more background stuff. After the launch video, the day after that, I am planning on posting a legit in-depth like walkthrough of all these controls. This is just meant to be either background or foreground stuff, depending on what you're looking at. So specifically in development, like Jake Whip and Asher Rowland, each in their own way, really helped me out. What if I now bring this over here and look at this background? Ooh, pretty funky stuff. Maybe toss on some small masking. I want this. You got some interesting stuff going on. That's a bit much. Anyway. And lastly, like I said, V2 was such like a big success. And like a probably shocking amount of that is due to also friend of the channel, Jamie Fenn. He has a video using Proto as part of an effect that has like almost 1 million views, and just telling people, hey, here's like this cool thing we're gonna make. It uses this plugin, go get it. Incredible. I'm sure I can't even begin to calculate how many people found Proto specifically because of that. I was thinking about showing off built-in tracking, but I probably won't. What about loader? Oh yeah, we got that. We'll just poke around. Unbelievably grateful for Jamie Fenn for that. I hope we have, cool stuff in Proto V3 to, wait, I want this on this background. I hope we have added enough cool stuff in Proto V3 where tons of people will want to look at it and find places it can work for them. If not the paid version, then the free version that again is also coming out later this week. But even tomorrow, we have like 1 or 2 days where it's exclusively paid. I think this looks great on black. Oh, look how great this one looks. Whoa. And that's kind of most of it. Nondescript sneak peek, clicking around in buttons, hopefully showing off bright colors and distortion. And then, talking about where Proto came from and the people that most recently have made it possible or have led to success as it's been working. I am so excited to finally release this. I have absolutely nothing I've worked on has ever come close to the raw amount of work I've put into this. And I hope people really love it. And tune in tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do like that like live stream half type thing where like a video goes live, a presentation, I think it's called. So stick around for that full release. I'm gonna get ready to pick up Proto V3. If you want to wait for the free version later this week, you can do that, and then see if the features in the full version are worth it to upgrade, or if you just can't wait. I understand it, because I think Proto is so cool. It can truly do so much stuff, and I'm excited. I'm excited. This is the kind of stuff that like I understand if people don't stick around for this, they just want the preset, but I think this needed to exist on its own. And we're also like building a little bit of hype with Proto Week. So that's what this video is. Thank you, Video Copilot, for the cool plugin that somehow led us to Proto. It's sick. I like all my presets. And if you are watching this at release, I'll see you tomorrow for Proto V3 in the wild. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.